In this movie, I want to get started at coding an ammo object that disappears after a specified time. To do this, I'm going to move down here to the project panel and right-click and then choose Create and then choose C# Script. That appears just outside the recording window, but I'm going to select that option. The new script file that I'm going to create I will call ammo and press Enter on the keyboard. Now this script file should be attached to the ammo prefab. So I'm going to select the ammo prefab here inside the project panel, and from the object inspector, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here where you can find the button that says Add Component. I'm going to select that button, and from the menu here I'm going to choose Ammo, and you can see that the ammo script file is selected here. So I'm just going to click that option to attach the ammo script to the prefab so that every single prefab generated in the scene will have that script attached. I'm going to double click the ammo script file to open that inside MonoDevelop here so you can see ammo.c#. Now the first property I need to encode for this class is the lifetime of the ammo object. That is, once the ammo appears in the scene, it should last for a specified lifetime and then disappear. This is going to be measured in seconds. So I'm going to choose public, float, and I will call this lifetime. And I will give this the initial lifetime of 2 seconds. Of course, we have the ability to change that from the object inspector. So I'm going to specify 2 seconds here. Now, I have to be careful about using the start and the update function, in particular the start function and the awake function. I don't want to use them. And the reason for that is because if I use the start function to start the lifetime of the object, remember that the start function and the awake function, these functions are executed when the object is instantiated in the scene. But of course, we're going to be coding a solution where all of the ammo is instantiated at the beginning of the level and is never re-instantiated. What I want to do is to show and to hide the ammo. So I want to use an event that is called when the ammo is shown. To do that, I can use the onEnable event. So I'm going to choose void onEnable, and this event is called automatically when the game object is activated. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to call the invoke function, and the invoke function is going to call a completely different function after the lifetime expires. So I'm going to call a function called die, which is going to hide the ammo object, and it's going to do so after the lifetime expires. I'm now going to create another function which is called die, which is the function that's actually going to hide the ammo object here. So I'm going to come into here and inside the die function, and I'm going to choose GameObject.setActive, and it's going to be set to false here. Now I'm also going to include the function called cancelInvoke, which will cancel any invokes that we may have already made because we don't want any other invoke operations to take effect. So I'm going to use the cancelInvoke here. So now we have the ability to activate the object and to make it destroy after a particular period of time. So I'm going to press Ctrl S on the keyboard and just minimize that code here and go back to the Unity editor. And now if I press play on the toolbar, we still have the ability to generate ammo objects. And notice this time, although the objects do remain in the scene, they are eventually being hidden. We haven't solved the problem of the objects queuing up, but we have solved the problem of the ammo disappearing after a specified time. This is a good beginning, but there's still a lot more for our solution that we need to implement, and we're going to be looking at that next.